What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to share with you guys a positive video, something uplifting, motivational, inspirational, possibly. Who the hell knows? Today I want to talk to you guys about 10 things that I am most proud that I've done since being released from prison. I say positive and inspirational with this because maybe this will motivate somebody else to want to try to accomplish these same things, or maybe it'll showcase to somebody else that these things are possible. You know, just because you've been locked up, you got a criminal record, you got the whole world stacked against you coming home. Don't think for a second that you can't accomplish great things, because you most certainly can. Now, real quick before we go any further with this, you know, there was a whole different video, a complete opposite of this, that I wanted to do, and that was going to be called the top 10 fails of After Prison Show. We may still be doing that video. I'm having a hard time, though, I'll be honest with you, I'm having a hard time compiling a list of 10 fails throughout the 5+ years that After Prison Show's been a thing. So if any of you guys could help me, you know, with some of the things that have definitely been major fails here, please comment down below, and I'll look forward to hearing and seeing what you guys have to say about just that. But this one is a lot more of a feel-good type of a story right here. The top 10 things that I'm most proud that I've done. And, you know, as I was thinking about this, I had to realize, and I know that some people may not want to hear this, especially some haters. That's right, I'm talking about you. You know who you are. Always hating. But I had to realize, or I did realize, that, you know, I am a bit of a role model. I'm no Kevin Costner or no Matthew McConaughey, but, you know, I am a bit of a role model. I have beaten the odds to a certain degree. I've beaten the odds. Ain't no question about that. I've definitely beaten the odds. And I'm a role model in regards to the fact that you can do this. If you've got a criminal record, it's almost like a mascot. Mascot might be a better thing instead of role model. People probably like, Joe, you ain't no role model. You ain't no role model. Ain't nobody looking up to you, Joe. You might be right. But anyways, that's a few little trivial things that I wanted to share with this. Look, I hope this video inspires others who are coming home, who have a criminal record, to keep up the good fight. You know, it's definitely not an easy thing coming home trying to get your life back together, and there's going to be a laundry list of things that you want to accomplish for yourself, and you can do it. You can do it! I've always wanted to use that. You can definitely do it. It just takes a lot of hard work and dedication and not giving up or falling back into the BS of your past. Took some notes for this video right here. I certainly did. 10 things proud I did AP. I used shorthand for these notes, sort of like a courtroom typewriter person. What do they call that? These 10 things that I'm going to list is actually 11 things. We're going to run through this really quick, and these things are in no particular order. It's really 11 things. There's one thing that isn't even on this list right here, but I definitely want to share this, that I am super proud that I've done after prison, is obviously not go back. For a guy who has continuously gotten in trouble in my past, my entire life up until serving the 7 years in prison that I did, my second trip to prison, but up until that, my entire life was a revolving door in and out of trouble, jails, and prisons. With the track record that I was living up until serving the 7 years, you know, it was no stretch to really think that I wasn't going to amount to nothing. And then when I got out after serving these 7 years, I had a good likelihood of going right back. And in fact, I just shared going right back. And in fact, thought we were going somewhere, a little bar action right there. But I just shared recently in a video that one, it's just been my 5-year anniversary since being released, and throughout those 5 years I've stayed out of trouble, but also a statistic that I ran across, that within the first year of getting released, you know, 44% or something like that end up getting locked up again. So the fact that I haven't gone back and the fact that I've made it 5 years out here, definitely super proud of myself. Joe, you deserve a super pat on the back for that little group hug action. That was super cringe. Sorry about that. But I am proud that I haven't gone back yet. Isn't that crazy that it, for the rest of your life, it will always be yet? It's actually kind of scary. Okay, with that one out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the 10 things. First thing to make this list This was the first thing that I thought of, was getting married. Major accomplishment right there. Like something that I never even imagined that I would do. One, find a woman who I wanted to marry. Two, find a woman who wanted to marry me. I never knew a good relationship until I met my wife. And you know, I hate to say this because it might even sound like a little bit of me trying to divert blame or trying to justify one thing or another. But, you know, in the past, all I ever had were horrible, trifling type of relationships. And not to say that the women in my life were scum of the earth solely by themselves, because I was too. And when you are that, you attract that. But when you start to do better, you attract better. Not just relationships, but friendships and opportunities as well. Boy, we on a positive TED Talk type of a thing right here. I'm feeling like Tony Robbins in this place. You can do it. You can do it. Life Coach Joe is actually something we're really considering. The Convict Life Coach. We'll be sharing more on that coming soon. But getting back to getting married. I'll never forget my wedding day and how special that day truly was. I know I was thinking like, this was something that I never imagined was gonna happen to me, but it did. And I'm sure glad that it did, and I'm very proud. And for any of you out there who want to dislike this video simply because of the fact that, you know, I mentioned me getting married, and that's like the number one thing that I mentioned right there, and you're lonely out there, and if you are lonely, listen to what I'm getting ready to tell you. I've got another business model. We've been talking about it on the Bobo. Confidence. Convict life coaching, because think about this. How can a guy with 6 baby mamas, no job, no driver's license, no credit, definitely no place to live, how can he get all the girls, but yet you can't? Folks, the convict hitch is coming very soon. So if you're ready to leave a dislike, slide on over to that like button and make sure you press that instead. And if you do press the like button, you're gonna get 10% off your first month's subscription to Confidence Life Coaching. Learn to be cool as a convict. Cool as a convict? I think that's the slogan right there. Next up on this list, something that I never really thought that I was gonna do, and it took me 18 long years to be able to do it. Got me license back. Dude, this is the greatest feeling ever right here, man. I haven't felt freedom like this since I got released from prison. I mean, I can't say anything else more about this. This is absolutely an amazing accomplishment, man. For the life of me, and every time that I was taking a vacation from being locked up, a vacation was me getting released back out here into the free world, the short amount of time that I would last out here before getting locked back up again. I wasn't even thinking about getting a license. A license, just give me the keys. Drive it like you stole it, which means you're gonna drive with both hands on the wheel at 10 and 2. And if there's a cop right beside you at the stoplight, you ain't even blinking. I gotta sneeze real bad. But if I sneeze, that might cause that cop to look. And he might pull me over and find that kilo of fake mushrooms in the trunk. Ultra breath, Joe. Ironically, I got my license back at the day before I got married. So it was like 2 major proud moments happening right back to back like a 2-piece. Bung, bung. Getting my license back. Never thought that I was going to be able to do that. Had a mountain of fines that I owed, like $15,000 in fines. Was able to pay all of that off. We made a video going to paying all of those fines off, and then went to DMV to try to figure out what else I had to do. And lo and behold, I found out that I was eligible to get my license back. All I had to do was take the written test and the road test. I was 35 years old getting ready to take the road test. I'm sitting in there with a bunch of pimply-faced 16-year-olds. Felt like I was going back to high school or something. I'm just sitting in here. Y'all nervous? I'm not. I've been to prison. You ever been to prison? Because that's where you going looking like that. You better get some Noxzema in your life. I'm kidding. I was the only person in there. Actually, there was like one other 16-year-old in there, and they weren't sweating this at all. They was like, man, the driving test, I got this. Look at that 40-year-old behind me getting ready to take the test. Talking about me. I was ready to slap the shit out of him, but you know what? Karma slapped him instead. I passed and he failed. How about that? You probably still don't got your damn license. But getting that license back, damn proud that I did that. And you know what? I think it's even easier now. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's even easier now to get your license back, whereas they won't suspend your license for court fines, or maybe that was something they were talking about doing, like not suspending them for court fines and child support. But I don't know if that's gone through or not, or if that's actually fallen apart. If anybody knows, please comment down below and let us all know. Third thing that I'm super proud of, and this kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that I've remained free out here, and a big reason that I've remained free, super proud of the fact that I've remained clean and sober. And if I hadn't been able to do that, well, I would have definitely ended up going back. You know, certain people have made comments in the past saying, Joe, why do you feature people who are dealing with addiction, active addiction? Who do you think you are? You're not Dr. Phil. You're not Dr. Oz, and I never claimed to be. The point is, I feel like addiction and incarceration are hand in hand. Once one becomes a part of your life, the other is soon to follow. And it usually starts with addiction first. It could start with incarceration first. Maybe while locked up, you find the fire pow-pow in a prison cell somewhere, but 90% of the time, I feel like it's usually addiction, then prison. And with the fact that we have featured so many people dealing with addiction, active addiction, trying to get beyond addiction, you know, it is a very sad thing to think about. So many people that I know from my past, so many people that we featured here on the channel have just not been able to get out of their own way or get out of the way of the addiction, and have just allowed that to continuously beat them, defeat them, and it's sad. You know, on Facebook, my friends list, I don't have very many friends at all. Steve, hold the violin track. Steve, I said, forget it, just run the violin track. Every time I hear it, I get emotional. I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook. Actually, you know what, we gotta kill the violin track because this is very serious. I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook because I don't want a lot of friends on Facebook. But of the friends that I have, most of them are people that I know from being in prison or being locked up just in general. And the sad reality is, of those people, a large likelihood, probably something like at least half, maybe even more than that, are either locked back up again or dead. And I hate the way that this is going to sound, but that has always like inspired and motivated me. Joe, you're inspired by people who died? Kind of, yeah. To like continue to do the right thing for myself and to continue to try to help other people. As much as people say that I don't really be doing that. Number 4, and we're going to bounce around. Like we're going to go from like the sentimental to the flex. And I'm just sorry, but that's what it is. And I don't intend this to be super flex, because you're probably thinking, oh, Joe trying to flex with this. I know buying a Tesla is going to be on this video. It really isn't. But now that you mentioned it, did you mention it or did I mention it? I think you mentioned it. I'm sharing all of these things because I want it to be emphatically known. That take it from me, like Passage is Malibu. I should know, because I once was in prison 2 times, in jail countless, for a guy who has continuously messed his life up and who realized at 32, almost 33 years old, I had to do things completely different, and I would. 5 years later, it took 5 years, but after 5 years, these are the things that I'm most proud of, and you can do these things as well. But again, number 4 is bought a house. Oh, it stinks in here.
Oh, like gas.
Honey, I'm home. Something that as a felon, a convict, an ex-con, the hardest prison YouTuber that there is, something as a guy who has served quite a bit of his life in prison, never could have possibly imagined that I was going to be able to do. Of course, when you're locked up, you're playing house, you've got your little prison notebook, not the Ryan Gosling notebook, but you know, your little scrapbook. You ain't gangster if you ain't got no prison scrapbook, but in there you've got your little magazine cutouts of that house with the white picket fence that you want to get for you and your old lady, your new old lady, not your old lady, the one who found Jody number 10. I'm trying to tell y'all that's going to be a hit once I finish writing it. Oh my God, I started writing a new song today. I'm rewriting Little Big Town's Girl Crush, and I am crushing it. I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to buy a house after prison. Not just any old house, neither, a pretty nice house. Now I have since in fact sold that house, and people, we're not gonna worry about what people say, but not only was I able to buy a house, I've bought a few houses. I'm literally on my I'm on my third house right now, and I'm looking at a fourth one literally right this minute. If I could get this, sorry, I just had to check my phone and my messages because I heard my phone going off. It's 10:17 as I'm filming this video in the morning, and my wife just messaged me 1 minute ago and says our realtor's got the keys and we're going to go tour house number 4 at 1 today. I ain't bullshitting, and I'm super proud of the fact that I was able to buy a house and also start getting into remodeling homes. Don't let the fact that you've been locked up stop you from being able to accomplish anything. And as you're watching this video, you know, keep this in mind too, and let this motivate you as well. I want you to look down below. It's either right there, or maybe right here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, but I want you to take a look at the dislikes on this video and know that those dislikes come from people who just ain't doing nothing in their life, and they probably ain't even ever been locked up. And if they have, they're just mad. Let those dislikes motivate you, because those are the people who ain't doing it. And I'm making this video for you so that you can do it. I want to let you know that you can. Tony Robbins, Confidence, Convict Life Coaching, we are coming. Very proud of everything that I've done with houses. Number 5, traveled. You know, when you're locked up, you're going to think about going anywhere in the world, anywhere other than where you are right there. There's nothing like looking out of a jail cell or a prison window through some bars, and if you can see the free world, that's only that much worse. You know, a lot of the times all you're going to see is the rec yard, other buildings, but if you can see the free world, there ain't nothing like looking out a window from being locked up that's going to motivate you to want to go anywhere else in the world. Now, I've yet to be able to accomplish getting a passport, and I don't think that I'll ever be able to do that because of my drug sale charges. But I have traveled to some places that I'm super proud to say that I've been. Key West, twice. A couple different places in Florida. Tampa, Clearwater. Been to Seattle. Been to Reno. Been to Mississippi a handful of times. Been to New Orleans. Went to California. Didn't tell probation about that, but I went, we were in Reno, and California was right there. I was still on probation at the time. I was on Shadow Track, and they're tracking your phone, and you got to let them know where you're going. We were in Reno, and I didn't even really realize we were crossing state lines, but we did. Folks, I never felt more close to feeling like I was going to get violated. I didn't, though, and we were only there for a couple of hours. What I would realize later on was you can go anywhere in the world while you're on probation, and you ain't got to tell them nothing, so long as you come back the same day. You spend the night, you're dead to rights. You come back the same day. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. It's just something that I heard, and I don't even know how true that really is. I think it's got to be work-related too, possibly. Number 6, I'm proud of the fact that I've started a shit ton of businesses. After Prison Show is a business. That's my most successful business, obviously. But I've also started a moped rental service, cleaning service, moving company, house flipping thing, lawn care, pressure washing. A couple of things you guys never even knew that I've started because I try to keep them on the DL. Storage auctions, buying and selling things. What else have we done? And even with the fact that some of those businesses, most all of those businesses have failed, gone completely up in flames, Joe quit. I do regret the fact that I quit with the cleaning business, the moving company, even with the fact that they failed, and because I've allowed them to fail, I'm proud of the fact that we started them and that we got some work doing those. And not only got some work, but we're able to put guys to work, and we're also able to make videos of this stuff that we were doing to showcase to anybody out there that you could do the same damn thing. Start you a cleaning business, start you a moving company. Don't start no moped rental service. That was a horrible idea. Don't get into storage units neither, because dudes are addicted to those and they're spending thousands of dollars on trash bags. Like the stuff inside of the units, which is garbage. Take it from me, I should know. I once was an addict too. And yes, even though most all of those businesses failed, you know, with those failures, maybe one person, even if it was only one person, it was worth it. Could have got something from it. Well, I know what not to do. Do what Joe did. Don't do that. So that also makes it worth it. And for that, I'm very proud. I'm proud of all of that. Number 7, a little more flex, and I'm gonna try to keep this very light. Flex light, like Bud Light. I bought a car, or 2, or 3, or 4. How many cars have I bought? After I got my license back after 18 years of not having it, and then going and being able to buy my truck. Actually, I bought my truck like a week before I even had my driver's license, maybe 2 weeks. I bought my truck without even having a driver's license, but there was nothing like, I knew I was getting my driver's license, and I never drove my truck without a license. For reals, I never did. But there ain't nothing like being able to buy yourself a vehicle after you've been locked up and you ain't had nothing. And then for, you know, if you're anything like me, for many years, being out in the free world, whatever time that you've spent out here, you have to rely on somebody else for a ride. You know, years ago, there wasn't no Ubers. There was only fat chicks. And I know that sounds horrible, but that's the truth. Uber back in the day was a fat chick. Yo, where you at right now? I'm saying, my GPS on my... That was horrible, but it was the truth. You gotta rely on somebody for a ride. Ain't nothing like being able to be self-sufficient in the ride department and being able to buy that first vehicle for yourself after you've either not had a vehicle or had to wait on somebody to come get you. When I bought that Dodge Ram truck, I was super proud of that. I'm still super proud of it. I just spent $1,700 on some shoes for that thing. Got some sounds up in it. And you know, I've talked about getting an F-250 and this and that, but one thing's for certain, I'm never gonna get rid of that truck. I'm gonna ride that thing till the wheels fall off, proverbially. And hopefully that's not gonna happen anytime soon, considering the fact that I just spent $1,700 on some new tires. But that truck is not only my work truck now, but it's also super sentimental to me. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm very proud of that. Not only did I buy that truck, I bought my wife's Jeep, bought that Tesla, bought a box truck, getting ready to buy another box truck, bought a trailer, bought a boat. Bought 5 mopeds. Damn, I bought a lot of vehicles. Number 8, something that I never even thought about doing, never even really cared as to whether or not I was ever gonna be able to do it. Didn't really ever cross my mind. But now that I've done it, I'm pretty proud of it. And like I said earlier, I'm rewriting that song Girl Crush by Little Big Town. I got a girl crush. Getting my rights restored, getting my rights back. I ain't never think I was gonna be able to do that. To be able to vote, folks, I've already put my vote in and you know who I voted for. Go ahead and comment down below who I voted for. Kanye West. I got my rights back. Don't mean shit, Jack. Don't mean jack shit. I can vote, that's it. I wanna buy a gun, go on a congressional run, leave out the country some, but I can't get a passport. Something about jury duty and traffic court. Go ahead and leave a like for this video because Joe be just super talented. I got my rights restored. And not only was I proud of this accomplishment, it was super easy to do. I literally just had to sign my name up and wait a couple of weeks, but so many other people were proud of me for being able to do this as well. And though this doesn't negate the fact that I'm a convict, an ex-con, a felon, well, at least it restores the rights that were lost to me when you become one. I got my rights back. Don't mean shit, Jack. Don't mean jack shit. I can vote, that's it. I'm telling you, that joint's gonna be better than Jody number 10. There's only 2 more things on this list. Let's try to breeze through them real quick. The first being number 9, and that is kind of cliche, but it's the truth. I feel like I've become a better person after prison. I've worked on myself to remain free, to remain sober and clean, and realized that in the past I had a lot of errors of my ways, and I was just scum of the earth. I did not want to be that anymore. I wanted to do better. It was through After Prison Show and me creating this that I was able to do that and not only do better for myself, but also try to do better for others as well. I am very proud of where I've gotten in 5 years separated from prison and the trouble of my past, and also very proud of the fact that I've been able to try to help a lot of other people along the way too. Steve, no, you didn't have to, not the damn it, Steve. We don't need the violin track for everything. And finally, coming in at number 10, again, these are in no type of order. There's no rhyme or reason to me sharing these things. These are just 10 things that I'm very proud of accomplishing. But coming in at number 10 is reestablishing the relationships with my family and the people of my past who deserved for me to rebuild those relationships. Actually, nobody from my past, really. I've actually cut ties completely and made just a trench of separation between me and anybody from my past for reals, but rebuilding the relationships with my family, my mother, my father, my brother, those relationships right there are absolutely paramount to me. And I am so happy and so proud to know that not only do we have a good relationship now, they're proud of me. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to rebuild those relationships, and I'm proud to know that they're proud of me. I share these 10 things with you. Well, really, it was 11 things, but I share these things with you because if you're anything like me and you've been in trouble in your past, you got a criminal record, you can't seem to find your way out or above or ahead of the trouble that just plagues your life, I want you to know that you really, truly can. It will be the hardest fight of your life, trying to just put one foot in front of the other in the direction of something more positive. But as soon as you start going that way and really just trying to go that direction, the more so you try, the further from your past you will get. You're going to have to cut ties with people and things that just ain't no good for you, and that might be difficult to do, but you got to do what you got to do for you. Sometimes, and this is going to sound bad, but it's the truth. Sometimes you have got to be selfish. You have got to concern yourself with only you first. Don't worry about that girl. Yo, I got to do what I got to do for me and for her so we can eat. You think she's going to be worried about you when you locked up? Jody number 10 going to be right there again. Worry about yourself, because it's when you worry about yourself and you get to where you need to be that you can do what you need to do for those around you who really need to be around you, your family, your loved ones, your kids. I'm going to wrap this up. I truly hope that this was something that you guys enjoyed, and if so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day.